But you see, if you have power needs, then powers are very attractive to you. You really want them. You can make believe you don't want them, but you do want them. I remember once Maharaji saying to me, Ramdas, you want to fly? I said, oh, Maharaji, I have a pilot's license, I can fly. He says, no, you want to fly? Oh, no, Maharaji. And he waved aside my no, because he could see my heart. You want to fly? You'll fly. That was in 1967. 1971, I'm traveling on a southern pilgrimage of Shiva temples with Swami Muktananda, who's got a lot of siddhis. Around 4 in the morning, Muktananda wakes me and takes me by the hand, takes me up to a little temple at the top of the town. He sits me down, he whispers a mantra into my ear, and he does a puja, and I immediately kind of pass out. Around 9 in the morning, somebody comes and says, Baba wants to see you. He's by then gone back to his house, and I'm brought back. I'm kind of confused. I don't know where I've been for those hours. The mantra's going in my head. I can't stop. I walk in. I said, what's this mantra, Baba? He says, this mantra will give you vast wealth and vast power. Well, what would you do if you're given that mantra? It's scary. I said, so my whole Boy Scout thing, I said, I don't want vast wealth and vast power unless I have an equal amount of love and compassion. And he looked disgusted at me and he said, just do the mantra. And I couldn't stop doing the mantra. I did it day and night. I mean, I'd wake up just doing it for hours. I was just going in deeper and deeper into it. I came back to his temple at Ganesh Puri, and he had a marble meditation hall around an adobe hut where he had done his sadhana, which was like the generator of his ashram. 12 years he had been in this hut. And he said, I don't want you meditating in the hall. I want you meditating in the hut, which was kept locked with a big key. One sadhu guarding the key. So at 2 in the morning, the lock was open. I was led into this room, and it was really hot, like over 100. Black and hot and clammy and closed in. I took off all my clothes, and I lay down. I was still doing the mantra. And I started to do the mantra, and I was immediately ripped out of my body, and I found myself on another plane at a doorway, and in the room, sitting on a table, was Muktananda. And I went over and I kneeled at his feet, and I looked up into his eyes, and as I did, I started to rise up above him, and I was flying. I thought, far out. I remembered Maharaji saying, you want to fly, you'll fly. I thought, I'm flying. Now where will I go? And I started to tilt, and as I started to tilt, my lack of faith made me try to right myself, and the minute I pushed against it, I was back down in the cave. And I got up and I knocked at the door to get out. I was in ecstasy from this energy. I walked out, and walking around in the courtyard in the dark is Muktananda now on this plane with another man who speaks English. Muktananda comes over to me and he says, how'd you like flying? So he's at least at this plane and that plane, so I understand that I'm playing in an interesting league now. I can't stop doing the mantra. Finally, after some days, I leave the ashram, and I go north into Surat to a cave. I go into the cave for a few weeks, and I lie down, and I start to do the mantra, and I am ripped out of my body, and I come to another plane, and there's a room, and there's a doorway, and I look in the room, and who is sitting on the table but Maharaji? Muktananda's mantra, and Maharaji sitting there. And I rush up, and I fall at his feet, and he pulls the blanket up over his face, and he goes, and it's just like I'm an inner tube at a service station. So, and then I'm back on this plane in the cave, and the mantra is gone. Completely gone. It's just a dull old set of words. And when I got back to Maharaji, all Maharaji said to me was, one day he says, it's good to meditate naked.